I've made a lot of videos on how to farm runes in Elden Ring in the best ways possible. And in today's video, we're going to be going over one of the best boss fight cheeses to get over 500,000 XP in a minute, as well as one of the best mid-range rune farms you can get in the game. This is probably going to be one of the best rune farming videos that I've made so far, and I've been trying to make these all in an order that you would kind of progress through the game, so that way no matter how you're playing, you'll always have a rune farming video for where you are currently in the game. Now, in the previous videos, we had shown how to defeat Star Scourge Radahn by cheesing him really easily, and then unlocking an AFK rune farm here in the War Dead Catacombs, which you can check out those videos in the description. But defeating Star Scourge Radahn is a prerequisite for what we're about to do. Well, at least I think it's a prerequisite for what we're about to do, because I only got this particular spot here after defeating Radahn. I've heard others say that you can do it after defeating Roderick, and it might be just after a certain boss fight, but what we need to do after defeating Godric or Radahn is heading back to the first step, where we're going to see a message where Vare used to be. We're going to read this message, and we're going to go seek him at the Rose Church. Now, getting to the Rose Church is pretty dang easy. You can take the shortcut around the castle if you want and get to the Lake of Facing Cliffs, and then kind of run down through the water all the way through here up to the Rose Church. There is no site of grace here, but once you get here, you'll see our lovely friend covered in blood standing outside. Now, when he asks you a question, just make sure to pick the top choice and then continue through the dialogue. After you're done talking to him the first time, then talk to him again, and he's going to give you some bloody fingers. Now, once you get these bloody fingers, you're just going to go into your inventory, and you're going to use one of these to try and attempt to join another player's world. It doesn't matter if you win or lose that fight, you just need to do this 3 times before returning to Vare. Now, once you get these bloody fingers, you're just going to go into your inventory, and you're going to use one of these to try and attempt to join another player's world. It doesn't matter if you win or lose that fight, you just need to do this 3 times before returning to Vare. After doing your 3 invasions, you should be able to go back to Vare and have him anoint you, and After you do your 3 invasions, you should be able to go back to Vare and have another conversation where he will anoint you and provide you with the Lord of Blood's favor, which we need to go get the blood of a maiden, so that's fun. Now, to get our maiden's blood, we're going to go to the Church of Inhibition. Now, to get here, the easiest way I've found, there's actually 2 different ways. You can go up through here to the Mausoleum compound and then jump down the stones here to get to this highway. Or if you can go from the East Raya Lucaria gate, you just run along the edge of this and you just make your way around the mountain all the way around and then up into this particular area, avoiding madness along your way. Now, right before you get to the church, you will be invaded by an NPC. Just take that one out, and then we're going to head over to the maiden that is sitting right here, where we get the Finger Maiden armor set, and we can get the blood as well. We can dye the cloth with the blood of the maiden. Now we can offer him the finger, and he's going to provide us with a medallion that's going to take us where we want to go. Now we just gotta go back to Vare, where we're gonna get the bloody finger, and he's also going to give us a medallion that'll allow us to go to the location that we actually want to go to after talking to him again after getting the bloody finger. Now that we've got the Pure Blood Knight's Medal, we just need to use this bad boy and teleport to the area that we need for all of the XP. Now, once we're here, we just need to run through this particular area. You can pick up the map from the dead guy on the ground, and really it's just a matter of avoiding all of the fights along the path here until, well, you can pick up these sites of grace as well. Once you pick up the Site of Grace, then we can continue going through. Don't bother fighting all of these guys. They are literally just going to explode on you. and it's just not worth it. Just, oh, don't get stuck in the middle of them either, because that would not be fun. Just run right past all of them. Hopefully you don't get stuck. And then we're going to go... Man, are they like worshiping that blob? We're just going to keep rolling right through until we get to this cave. Now you're going to need a light, whether you have a lantern or a torch, whatever your heart desires or whatever you have. And then we're going to run in through here. And then we're going to take the right turn once we can. It's a little bit of a maze to get through here. And we're going to go to the right. Pick this up and we can keep running right past. We're going to follow these stairs up through here. At which point we're going to keep turning right. And I'm going to grab this just because it's good to have those ghost gloveworts. And we've pretty much made it out. We've got the exit right up through here. And we've almost made it to the location for all of the rune farming. Just outside, there is a site of grace for you to be able to get. And then there's two things we can do here. The first thing we're going to do is get 500,000 runes very quickly. Now, I'm going to go into my equipment. I'm going to make sure I equip the gold scarab, which increases your XP gained by 20%. And then I'm also going to go into my inventory, and I'm going to make sure I have one of these gold pickled fowl feet available for me to be able to use. I would like to equip it. Once you have your golden scarab and your gold pickled fowl foot equipped, we can kind of start with the rest of this process. We're going to cheese the boss that is available back here, and it's incredibly easy to defeat with this method. It's only going to take well, it's going to take a very short amount of time. Once the elevator is up, we need to do two things. We need to purposefully dive first. So if you have a lot of runes at this point, just make sure to use them if you can, but you'll be able to pick them up anyways. We only need to purposefully die once for this to work. So we're just going to run in, we're going to get the cutscene, and then we're going to die. Now, obviously, if you want, you can just try and kill this guy on your own, and it'll give you a lot of XP, but I want to show the actual way to be able to cheese it. Quit running from me. There we go. Now, when we die, we're going to choose to revive at the stake of Marika. That's going to get us to spawn right back where we were. Now that you're back out here, all you need to do is just take off all of your equipment. I know I just told you to equip the gold scarab. We're going to re-equip that here in a second. But we're going to actually glitch over this wall now. The reason we needed to die first was to enable that ghost wall or whatever it's called. So that way the boss won't engage us when we get in there. Now we have a long gap that we need to like sprint jump over. But since we're standing in the same place, what we need to do is we need to enable sprint without having the back step or dodge happen. So that means you need to jump in the air. And then when you jump in the air, you're going to hit the sprint button and keep it held. So that way, now when you land, you have the sprint button enabled, and then you can jump across. Now, it's going to take a few times before you get the hang of it, but as long as you get that sprint button enabled, you should be able to make this jump. Now, once you're in here, you just do the jump. Make sure you activate the sprint and go right for this corner right at the edge, and you should be fine. Now, once you're up here, all we have to do is just fall into the area. And what's super cool about this is the boss will not engage you at all. Now, do make sure you have your golden scarab equipped at this point in time. Just verify that it's there. And then before the boss dies, you're just going to want to pop your gold pickled fowl foot. But the boss is just going to sit here, doesn't even know you're here, and you can just murder it to your heart's content. It's going to take a little while, because obviously he's got a lot of HP, but just burn him to the ground and we'll get a ton of runes. And just make sure you have your gold-footed thing activated, and when he dies, you're going to get a massive amount of runes. We'll also get the Great Rune, the Bloodlord stuff, and we got 655,000 runes, which is amazing. We also get the Remembrance, which means we can get equipment and weapons from that, which is, well, actually the weapons from that. We can also get the Site of Grace point here, which is going to come in handy. And if you did happen to drop your runes along the way, you can pick those bad boys up now too. Now, if you thought that was crazy, let me introduce you to a ridiculous rune farm. If you open up your map and you go back to the original Site of Grace here, you can actually hop down and kind of run around through here, and then you're going to make it through all of this blood, and you're going to run up this path all the way to the end where this Site of Grace is up here. Now, this Site of Grace is the location for 2 rune farms. You can kill those dudes down there, but don't worry, that's not what we're going to be doing today, because those dudes are super strong. What we're going to be doing is using a ranged weapon like a crossbow or a bow to shoot this like nasty little blood chicken down here, which is going to run at us and fall off the freaking cliff and die. This is going to net us 13,000 runes without using a gold-footed thingamaboober. We do have the golden scarab, and guess what? All you need to do is do that, rest at the Site of Grace. It's honestly, it's not even fair. Now, the crazy thing about this is you can literally do this as much as you want. It's just going to run off the edge. You're going to get 13,000 runes without the gold-footed thingamaboober, and you just sit at the Site of Grace and literally just make it rain XP for yourself. No skill whatsoever required, and get as much runes as you want. Now, I do hope everybody enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and we are trying to hit 1 million subs this year, so a sub would be greatly appreciated, and I'll see you all in the next one.